So I recently got this PowerZ FL001 Super USB power analyzer. And I've discovered a very neat feature of it, which is the USB PD conversion function. So what this lets you do is it lets you charge a USB PD only device, like the Surface Book, from a charger that only supports proprietary charging standards or some sort of USB-A charger. So in this example, I have this Samsung adaptive fast charging charger. You'll find this with the phones, tablets, actually not phones, but tablets and high-end wireless chargers. So you can see this supports 5 volts 2 amps, 9 volts 1.67 amps, and 12 volts at 2 amps. So 24 watts, that's acceptable. I should be able to trickle charge my surface of it. However, this only has a USB-A port and thus doesn't support USB PD. Let's see what happens when we plug this in. Alright, so we have this hooked up with a USB-A to C cable, and I have this cheap little USB power analyzer, power meter here. And let's plug it in. Unfortunately, nothing happens, and you can see this doesn't even try to charge. And that's because the Surface Book won't charge off anything that doesn't support USB PD. And of course, it doesn't know how to negotiate the proprietary adaptive fast charging protocol. So I can't charge it, even though this charger does have enough power. So let's see what happens when we use the PowerZ. So when we plug in the PowerZ, we can go to the protocol detect page, and we can use this to detect what protocols this charger supports. So you can see it supports Qualcomm Quick Charge 2.0 at 12 volts. And adaptive fast charging at 12 volts. So that's what this charger supports, which is correct. So now I have this fully featured USB-C cable, and we can hook it up. So before I plug this into a Surface Book, I need to come here to the PD converter menu, and I want to select adaptive fast charging. Okay, so that's selected. Now let's plug this in. So now you can see that the PD converter means that this device is now advertising these three power levels to the surface. So 5 volts 2 amps, 9 volts 2 amps, and 12 volts 2 amps, which is exactly what this charger supports, except now it's advertising them as USB PD and outputting it using this USB-C port. So it comes into Surface, and as you can see, we're now charging. There we go. Now, it says the batteries are still in use because, unfortunately, 22 watts isn't really enough to charge this at a reasonable pace. However, if I was stuck and I need to charge this, I could always just put this to sleep and it would charge, like at a reasonable speed. And you can see that's drawing 22 watts, 23 watts, and I mean, we can actually view that down here as well. 12.1 volts at 2 amps. If we scroll over, we can see, we're pulling 24 volts, and we're using adaptive fast charging from this charger. So yeah, I mean, there are also other features. There's plenty of other features. There's data logging. There's a micro SD card in here, and plenty of other things. So we can graph the voltage. We can record that. We can do resistance tests, and in fact, what we can do is we can see eMark info. So you can see that this fully featured cord supports USB 3.1 Gen 2, power delivery 2.0 at 5 amps, and it's a passive cable. We can also see the load info, USB power delivery, peripheral, and obviously we don't have any charger info because this isn't a PD charger. This does have a USB-C input here, so if we had a PD charger, we could hook this through a PD charger. And in fact, we can still use the even if we have a PD charger hooked up, we can still use the still use the PD converter function to limit the power profiles that are passed through for whatever reason if you need to do some testing. But yeah, so this is a very nice feature.